This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, am I audible? Srinivas, Najia, Tejaswini.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So in user administration, we discussed about the root user, normal user, and pseudo user. Root user by default create at the time of installation. That is the default account. As a root, we are going to create the normal users, and today we'll discuss about pseudo users. What is pseudo user? What is different between administrator and normal user? Anyone? Difference between admin and normal user? Administrator always get hash prompt. Hash means root user, super user. Dollar means normal user, programmer, developer. The difference between root user and normal user, hash for super user and dollar for normal user. But that is not the difference. For example, you logged as a normal user, you want to change the prompt. To change the prompt for user, type ps1 is equal to root hash. ps1 stands secondary prompt. When you type this command, we'll see the prompt as a root hash. You got the prompt as hash prompt. Or if you want, you can give the hash prompt like this hash. We'll see the prompt as a hash. Does it mean that you are the root user? No. Only the prompt got changed. Only the prompt got changed. Doesn't mean that you are the root user. User can change the prompt. How to change the prompt? Type capital PS1. Whatever you want, you can type here. So only prompt got changed. Doesn't mean that you are the super user. Then what the difference? Difference is the commands under bin, the commands under has been and slash esr has been. The commands under bin has been and esr has been only admin can execute. Only root user can execute. Normal user cannot. The commands under has been and slash esr slash has been. Only root user can execute. A normal user cannot. Example, user add, user mod, fdisk, shutdown, user del, group del. All these commands are admin commands. Why admin commands? Because these commands are resides under admin and ESR admin directory. Because these commands under admin or ESR admin directory. That is different between root user, normal user. Which commands normal user can execute? The commands under bin and slash ESR slash bin. The commands under slash bin and slash ESR slash bin can execute by normal user and super user. How to know where the command is, which command name, which user add. We'll see the output as slash has been slash user add, where user add command is under has been directory, which user mod, which user del, which group add. All the commands are under has been directory. Example for user commands, which ls, where ls file is under bin directory, which mkdir, which group add, sorry, which ch1, which chmod, which veditor, all these are under bin directory. So don't think that the difference between super user and normal user hash and dollar, because the prompt can be changed. Next, so this is to change the prompt. For capital PS1 hash or username, whatever you type here, that we can see as a prompt. You can type anything. Now, can I create duplicate root user, or how to create duplicate root user? So we can create duplicate root user. As I told you that difference between normal user and root user, not hash or dollar, and admin can run the commands under admin, ESR admin, or the commands under bin, ESR bin, admin can run. A normal user cannot run the commands under admin directory. So I want to create the duplicate root user. What is the purpose of duplicate root user? What do you want to create so that in my options the user can run, the user can act as a root user. The user can act as a root user. So can I create the user now? User add, username root? You cannot, because we discussed earlier, usernames always unique, cannot be duplicated. Already we have a root user. If you create the user called root1, the user not a root user. Root user always must be root only. It won't allow you to create the duplicate root user. Then how to create duplicate root user? The concept is any user with user ID 0, that user is root user. Any user with user ID 0, that user is a root user. How to know that root user ID? We discussed earlier, monitor the users type ID username root to know the user ID and group ID of any user. That give that user ID as a 0. You can see the output user ID is a 0. So any user with user ID 0, that user is a administrator. Now you can create the user with user ID 0. You know how to create the user with user ID. Run the command user add -u user ID 0, user ID 0 and username. For example, student is my username. Any user with user ID 0, that user is a root user or super user. Right. But it gives error user ID 0 already exists. User ID is also unique. User names, user IDs, both are unique, cannot be duplicated. User IDs, user names are both are unique, cannot be duplicated. In that case, how to create the user with user ID 0? Use the option called user add -u user ID 0 -o. What is -o? Creation of duplicate user IDs. -o is the switch to create the duplicate user IDs. Username is student. To create duplicate user IDs. So you want to create the user with user ID 0. Why do you want to create the user ID with user ID 0? To create the duplicate root user. Then what option I have to use? -o option. So user is created successfully. Now log into that user, su-username. What prompt will get? You'll get the hash. Why? You got the hash prompt. Student is not a normal user. Student is a super user or root user. Why? Because of user ID 0. Like this, we can create duplicate root user. But the problem here is he can do all the tasks, he can run all the commands, he can do all the tasks what root user can do. No difference. No difference between root user and student user, both are same. For example, you know that there is a command called whoami. What is whoami? To know who is logged in. To know who is logged in. Who is logged in? Student is logged in. What should be the output? The output should be student, right? But in place of student, it is showing that you are the root. It is not showing that you are the student. It is showing that you are the root. Why? Why? Because you are not normal user, you are the root user because of user ID 0. So he can perform all the commands, he can run all the tasks, all the commands, what root user can execute. No difference. So tomorrow you might have changed the password for user root also. Password, username, root. You can change the password. So there is no security if I create duplicate root user. One company will have only one CEO. One server will have only root account. One server will have only one root account. If the company more than one CEO, the company having more than one CEO, the company will shut down very soon. Like here also, one server should have only one root account. Do not create duplicate root account. It is not best practice, not recommended. That's why we have a concept called pseudo user. What is pseudo users? Pseudo users are special type of user. Having admin privileges or administrator privilege. Tomorrow when you join us for L1 support, fresher 1 to 2 years experience, this comes under L1, level 1. 2 to 3 years experience comes under, 3 to 4 years experience comes under level 2. More than 5 years experience comes under level 3. So in the real time, they're going to segregate the jobs. As a level 1, your job is only monitoring. Your job is only monitoring. And user administration. User administration nothing but creating users, creating groups, group add, user mod, group mod. This comes under user admin task. Your job is only creating the groups, creating the users, adding the users to the group, add the secondary group to the user, all this stuff. So L1 job is only user admin related user admin related task like group add, group mod, user add, user mod. Even we don't give the permission to run the group del, user del. Don't give the permission, group del, user del. So as a level 1, as a normal user level 1, he can run only this task. Only this, he can run only this command. Apart from that, if you run the user del command or shutdown command or something else, fdisk command, it won't work. Level 2 is a network admin. Level 2 is a network level, like networking. Run the command if up, if down, enable the IP address, disable the IP address. Starting the services with service command, systemctl command. So this level 2 administrator can execute only this command and install the RPM packages with RPM command, M command, RPM, M, those are commands to install the package. So whoever joined for level 2, their job is to disable the IP, enable the IP services, start and stop the services, restart the services, install the packages. So we are going to give only these commands for level 2. Like this, we have to segregate the jobs. That is possible with pseudo user. That's why pseudo users are special type of user having administrative privileges. We never give all the privileges to the normal user. So whatever task, whatever command the user want to execute, they are going to provide only those commands to that user. That is possible with pseudo user. Sudo users or sudo both the same, allows particular user to run various root user commands without needing the root password. So while running the user command, user mod command, fdisk command, they don't need password of root account. Without root password, they can run those commands. /etc slash sudoers is the configuration file for sudoers. So sudo is nothing but normal users. You cannot create a sudo user directly. Sudo users we cannot create directly. First create a normal user, then convert into sudo user. Every sudo user, normal user, and convert that normal user privileged user, nothing but sudo user. Third point, it is not recommended to open this file by using VI or Vim editor. VI or Vim editor. So don't open this file. Don't open this file in VI editor or Vim editor because VI or Vim editor does not check the syntax errors. If any syntax errors in this file, while saving the file, it won't check the syntax errors. It will allow you to save the file without checking the syntax errors. There's a one disadvantage of VI or Vim. Use the special editor for this that is called VA Sudo. Use the special editor for this that is called VA Sudo. So what happens if I run the VA Sudo? It is going to open the file /etc slash. It directly open the file /etc slash sudoers file by default. If you run the command VA Sudo, it opens this file /etc slash sudoers. The advantage of this VA Sudo directly open the file /etc slash sudoers. And second advantage is it is going to check the syntax errors. If you miss the semicolon or any syntax errors in the line, it won't allow you to save it. Fix that error, then save the file. Without fixing that error, it won't allow you to save. It won't allow you to come out of the editor. That's the advantage of VS. Another advantage is if I open the file in VEditor, suppose I open the file in VEditor /ed slash sudo. Some other user from different terminal, he can also open the file, same file, va/ed slash sudo. Multiple users can open this file by using VEditor. If I use VEditor, multiple users can open the same file at a time. More than one user can open this file at a time. What happens if there are more than 5 users, 10 users are working on this file? Same file they are working on the same file. What is the problem? Whoever last saved, only those changes will be saved. I've done some modification, some other user done some other modification. The other user saved the last saved, my changes won't be there in that file. There's a problem with the VEditor. Whereas if I use VA sudo, if somebody trying to open this file, that gives the error, the file is busy. No one can open this file unless until I quit from the editor. For the error, the file is busy. We'll come to know that somebody working on that file. That is the advantage of using VA sudo. Don't use VI or Vim editor to read this file. Right. So run VA sudo, go to line number 98. This line number will be changed based on the version. Currently we are using 9 version, right? Let's see what is the line number for that. So I create the user add username student. By default, this student is a normal user already there. I want to know the ID for user student, ID, username, What is the ID 1002? Log into that user, su-user student. What prompt you got? Dollar prompt. You want to type ps1 is equal to hash. You can see the prompt as a hash prompt. Does it mean that is a root user? Run the command user at username, permission denied, shutdown, must be a root. Only the prompt got changed. Doesn't mean that you are the root user. Capital PS1 is equal to student dollar. We can type any prompt as you wish. That is called PS1 to change the prompt. Now, I like to convert the student as a duplicate root user. So you know how to modify this user mod. When first time you are creating account, then user add. Existing user you want to modify, user mod, hyphen o, sorry, hyphen u, user ID is 0, username is student. When first time you are creating, then user add hyphen u 0. But this is the existing user. So user mod hyphen o hyphen u user ID 0, username student. You see, user ID already exists. I'm trying to create a user add root already exists. Usernames, user ID is always unique. So use the option called hyphen. Now log into that account, student. What prompt you got? What is saying that you are the root? Even though you logged as a student account, but showing that you are not the student, you are the root. You can check it who you are mine. There is a problem with the duplicate root account. If I type who command to see who is logged in, it is showing that everyone has a root account. So we'll get confused who is the main root account, who is the main root user. Will get confused. So it is not recommended. For that we have a pseudo user concept. So run the command va sudo. It opens the sudo's file. Slash etc slash sudo. Line number 98. Certainly. In new version, line number 100. So this line number will changes based on the version. So don't remember the line number. Remember the line where you have to change that. Okay. Here, write username, some username like Sony, all is equal to all. What is the meaning of all is equal to all? For user Sony, we are giving the all the admin privileges. All admin privileges. No password, column, all. Meaning what? While running admin commands, don't ask for the password for any command. For any command, don't ask for the root password. So I'm giving all the admin privileges to this normal user. Now create a user. Now log into that account, SUFN, username, type Priya mine. You are not the root, you are the normal user. You got the dollar prompt. You are trying to run the command, user add username, permission denied. You are not able to execute the user add command. You are not able to execute the fdisk command. Can't open this file. But I told you that this Sony is a pseudo user having all the admin privileges. So if at all you want to run the admin command as a pseudo user, you want to run the admin commands, always type sudo, then user admin command, any command, user add some username. Sudo fdisk //sda. Okay. There is no SDA file because version 9, the device name has changed. So you can run sudo fdisk -l to see what are the partitions. So whenever we are running the admin commands, always use the sudo command. So sudo user del -r user delete the user with home directory. Any admin command we can run, but before that, every time you have to use the sudo command. Directly if I run this admin command, it won't work because you are not the direct root user, you are the sudo user. You have to tell to the operating system saying that I am a sudo user having admin privileges. How do you tell to the operating system? By typing sudo command. Otherwise, it won't allow you to execute. The advantage of creating sudo users, we can monitor these users, what command the user is executed, where to monitor, there is a file /var/log/secure. /var/log/secure file contains what time user logged in, what time user logged out, what command is executed, session closure for user root, session closure for user root, uh, delete the user when okay, what else you can see here? Session open for user root by UID 10, UID 1002. UID 1002 is not normal user, is a pseudo user. Maybe go up. You see here. How do we come to know that Sony is the pseudo user? Session open for user Sony by root. What's the meaning of that? Is not a root user, is not a normal user having pseudo privileges, root privileges. That's why by root. By seeing this file, we come to know that who are the sudo user and what command this user is executed. What command user executed. New group got created, session closed student. Delete the user Vinay. Okay. So that is the advantage of creating the pseudo user. So this is the main advantage of pseudo user auditing purpose. If I create the duplicate root user, we can't able to audit. We don't know who execute the command. who execute the command. If I create duplicate root user. If I create a pseudo user, give it the root privileges, we can audit. What time the user logged in, when this command get executed. In the real time, auditing is very, very important. In AWS, we have a IAM user, right? By default, IAM user can't perform any task, any activities. They have to get the privileges. Same here also. It is there in the document. Okay. All is equal to all. Part of it. So log in with student account. You can run the command sudo user add, sudo password. You want to delete the user del, any admin commands you can run. But I told you, don't give the all the admin privileges. All the admin privileges. So when this user join for only level 1, only for user administration, give the commands like this. You have to give the path, where user file is, how to know where the user file is, run the command, which user under user has been, which user mode. So in this Sudo's file, write the command along with the path. Write the command along with the path. The meaning of this particular user can execute only these two commands, user add, user mod. Don't give the user del, only user creation and user modification. You want to give the sudo privileges for a group of users, then percentage DBA. What is DBA? DBA is the group name. Under this group, there are more than 500 accounts. Instead of creating the privilege, instead of giving the privileges for every user manually, we can create the front group. Okay. So this is about sudo users. Password capital S hyphen capital S username to see the status of user password. What is meaning of user status? LK stands password is locked. Locked means what? The password not yet created. The password not yet created. When this account will be created, this is called password aging. We discussed earlier what is password aging, right? Now create the password for user, password student. It is not showing that LK because password is set. What type of encryption? SHA. SHA is one of the encryption format. You want to read the password hyphen D username. D for delete. Before that, grep student slash etc slash rwd. Sorry, shadow file. Shadow file contains passwords, right? So this is the password. You want to log the account, password, -l, username, -l for log. You want to log the user account, password, -l, username. Check the shadow file. You see double, what do you call, exclamation mark. You can see double exclamation mark. That means what? The password is locked. So when the password is locked, user cannot log in. You want to unlock it again, use -u for unlock. Now check the shadow file. Do you have exclamation mark? No, right? Means password is unlocked. You want to delete that password for user, password -d username. That delete the password. Check the shadow file. Now password for student. Right. Change. Change the command to change the password using change -d 0 username. It will change the password when user it will ask to change the password. It will ask to change the password. So whenever user logged in, whatever password which has been created by the root user, they log in with that password. It won't ask you to change the password. That is user that is optional. User want to change the password, he can change the password. But you want to continue with the same password, he can continue the same password. It is not a mandatory to change the password. But what this command does, it will ask the user when first time user logged in, it will ask the user change your password. Without changing the password, it won't allow you to use it to log in. So forcefully to change the password. Right. This quarters we are done. So run levels topic we'll see tomorrow. So we are done user administration part. Pseudo users are very, very important in the real time. Even tomorrow you join as a Linux administrator, you don't have the root access, you don't have the root password. Root user only one. One system will have only one root account. They're going to create one pseudo user for you. So every administrator in the real time is a pseudo user. You cannot log in directly as a root. Even we discussed in AWS, right? In AWS, we cannot log in as a root directly. We are going to log in first ec2-user, ec2-user. From there, sudo su log in as a normal user, then switch to the super user. In AWS also, we cannot log in any Linux box directly as a root user. First log in as a normal user, then switch to the super user. If you want, you can run all the admin commands as a EC2 user without switch to the root account, super user. But you should type sudo username. We discussed DevOps, right? Sudo yum install package name. Yum is basically what command? Admin command. If you run the command yum directly, it won't work. You have to type sudo the command. So EC2 user is not a normal user. EC2 user is a by default sudo user. we can run all admin commands. If you don't want to run this sudo every time, then switch to the root account. So in the real time, no one can log in as a root user, either AWS or Linux admin, Linux service. Right. So tomorrow we'll start new topic, run levels.